Well, I'm pretty sure by now y'all getting plumb sick and tired of watching planting videos. Well, to tell you the truth, I'm getting pretty tired of making planting videos. Let's try a little something different today. Well, what about it, guys? Y'all ready to go cut some wheat?
We're about to be 15, 16 inch of size.
One last detail, trying to stop a hydraulic leak.
From ever having a problem.
All right, be back with y'all soon after this technical difficulty is resolved. All right, it's been a marathon day and a half trying to get everything ready, not just all my combine, header, semi-truck, grain buggy, getting all that stuff serviced and a couple of odds and ends fixed. Also had to go completely through this. We had several bearings to change here in my furrow force closing wheels. Like I said, those have a hard time lasting a year, but I also found out I had 5 row cleaners that the bearings was going down in them. Of course, that's a little bit more involved. We got all that fixed, got the planter changed over to soybeans, got spike closing wheels back on the front units and everything adjusted for soybeans. Tell you what, going to cut wheat and planting double crop soybeans, not only we're having to get a harvest operation up and going, but having to keep a planting operation going too. So more equipment, more trouble. All right, let's get the combine, header, and grain buggy moved over there to Fisher, and then while me and Carter are getting the combine set and calibrating, if you can be helping Kelly fill up with seed, and if we got time, replace those 2 load cells. Let's go around over there to the Simmons Road side and get started over there. All right, I think we're ready. Probably a lot of things we forgot. One thing I'm not going to forget is put on my seatbelt though. Tell you what, I'm already wore out and we ain't even started yet. I haven't even gone to the field to check the wheat. I don't know if it's ready or not. Honestly, I don't care if it's ready or not. We're starting to cut wheat today and we're going to keep on rolling because the forecast looks absolutely abysmal for wheat. There's like some kind of atmospheric river. They're talking about storm system after storm system after storm system after storm system for the next 4 to 5 days. Well, I think starting Friday. So we got like two days, day and a half, 2 days to get as much of this wheat cut as we can. I know for a fact that the wheat's pretty close. I mean, you can tell the heads already, they're curling over, so that means it's close. It might not be the perfect moisture, but the last thing we need to do is get in a situation like we got in last year where we got a lot of rain on mature wheat and we got absolutely hammered with low quality, and then got hammered on the price because of low quality. So it really doesn't matter if it's ready or not. It needs to come out of the field and we need to get it in the bin. If it needs to be dried down in the bin, then we can deal with that. But with what's coming on this weather, the one thing it does not need to be is be out in the field. I really don't know what our wheat crop's going to be like. I think it's going to be a pretty good yielding crop. Don't think it's going to be a record crop by any means, but I think it's definitely going to be better than the last several years. And starting out, I think the quality on it's going to be pretty good. All that rain that we got that killed my cotton stand, it came right, before the wheat had dried down and was ready. All those seeds were still plump and green, so I don't think that all that rain would have hurt them as far as test weight and quality and stuff. But if we get that same thing happen this weekend, early next week, it's going to be a different story this time. So anyway, we're going to get here to the field. I'm going to get the combine set, get everything calibrated, and then we'll bring you back on some wheat cutting action. All right, I think we got everything calibrated. We calibrated everything multiple times. Looks like my moisture's running about 14.5%. So the moisture limit on wheat's 13.5%. But like I said, I don't care if the moisture is, it's got to come out of the field before this rain gets here. And based upon the early returns off my yield monitor, we need to get it out quick because my yields are not what I thought they'd be. Looks like so far yields are in the 70s, and I was fully expecting yields to be in the 80s. I don't know exactly what's going on, but that's not a recipe for a profitable wheat crop right now. That's for dang sure, especially considering where the price is. All I know is this is the first farm where Andy started side dressing nitrogen. I think we were having some rate controller problems, if I remember correctly, back when he started doing that. Pressure was fluctuating and everything, so hopefully the wheat yields are going to pick up a little bit, because right now I'm pretty daggone disappointed. I mean, this is worse than last year. You can tell we still got some green straw down there. Ideally, like I said, this would need another 2, maybe 3 days. But that's 2 to 3 days we don't have right now. The loss monitor's not showing hardly any loss, and I've ground truthed it, and I didn't see a whole lot of loss on the ground truth. But I'm gonna stop right out here and get out and just double check, make sure I'm not spitting any out the back or got a door open or something. It's just not, these yields just not making any sense. All right, we're gonna get right here in the dead center of the combine. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Although that's a tiny one, that probably got blown out. Not much you can do about that. That one right there. So now, I mean, that's a little bit of loss. And I don't remember how many seed per square foot equals 1 bushel. My owner's manuals get still at the shop, but that's definitely below 1 bushel per acre. Let's get over here to the outside a little bit. Seed's heavier and it'll spread farther than what the chaff and straw will. And I'm not seeing anything at all right out here. Like, there's one. There's 2. All right, I'm gonna get directly behind where my elevator and stuff is. It's gonna be right to the inside of my rear tire. If I got any leaks, that's where it'll be. There's 2 right there. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing very, very little loss. Let's check out here on the other side of the swath. There's 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. It's certainly not getting kicked out the back of the combine, that's for dang sure. That combine set pretty dang good. Let me inspect some of these heads, make sure they all got filled with grain. Now, I mean, that head's got 3 seed in each floret. No missing seed, no blank seeds or anything. I tell you what, when you get down in here closer and look at it, this wheat ain't as thick as what it looks. And this kind of wheat is deceiving. Because you see all those antlers right there on the seed head? This is what we call a bearded wheat, and it can definitely make the wheat look a little deceiving, make it look thicker than what it is. But you get out here in this spot and it's a lot thinner than what it should be. And then down here in the bottom, look, we got some short heads. The bigger primary heads are a little bit bigger than normal. They got 17 florets, whereas normally we got 15. But yeah, that's the problem. It looks like I know I planted it thick enough. I know I got a good enough stand. It just looks like that a lot of tillers got aborted for whatever reason, most likely weather. I know we had the fertilizer on it to grow like it should, but that's the problem. This wheat just ain't as thick as it's supposed to be. I mean, looking down through here, you shouldn't be able to see the ground at all. And I was just wondering what weather conditions we had this winter that caused it. I mean, it definitely wasn't a perfect winter. It was a wet winter till we got till like April and stuff. Then we had a nice pretty stretch. It wasn't temperature related because May was not overly hot. As you can see, the problems we had planting cotton, it was not overly hot. I don't know. I wish that was a question I could answer, but I'm at a loss. Hopefully it's just going to be this one field though, and yields pick up later on. Well, maybe I was a little too hasty in declaring this crop a bad crop. Up there on the front hill, it was definitely thin, but we got down here in some better ground at this field and the field we just came from, and it's definitely a lot thicker and yields are reflecting it. They're still not quite where I hoped they'd be, but like right in this area, it's between 85 and 90, and it looks like it's, once you get away from the tree lines, looks like it's pretty consistent all the way through there. So maybe this crop's gonna be, you know, about what I hoped it'd be. You know, I was hoping that we'd see 90 plus. I wasn't expecting that, but I was expecting around 85 or so. And that's what it's doing down here. So maybe it'll be a little bit better than what I thought. But for all of you wheat farmers that are watching this channel, and any agronomist, anybody that's got experience with wheat, I've got a genuine question that I really haven't been able to get answered. You know, we've been saving our wheat seed for a long time. This right here is Pioneer 25R40, best variety I've ever grown in my entire life, like head and shoulders above every other variety that I've grown. But I can't get it anymore, and we've been saving our seed for a long time. I don't know how long we've been saving, probably 8, 9, possibly even 10 years. We've been saving it a long time. And we've kept the purity of it, you know, it's not contaminated with other varieties. You know, I can definitely tell there's not any other varieties mixed in with it. We've done a good job of segregating it. But I've always heard that if you keep on saving your wheat, you know, year after year after year, eventually your yields are going to start declining. And I'm kind of wondering if that's what we're seeing now. You know, for whatever reason, through, you know, pollination every year and maybe losing some genetic purity, I don't know. But like last year and the year before, you know, I tried some certified wheat.
I'm learning that. Which bin are you going to start going into?
We're going with all this in bin 2. Bin 1 and 3 are going to be saved wheat.
Okay, all the fish is going into bin 2. I got it.
Oh, I was saying in you know, past years, you know, I tried some certified wheat. Like last year, you know, 26R59 is another variety we've been saving. We haven't been saving it near as long as 25R40, but we've probably been saving it 4 or 5 years now. And anyway, last year I tried a few bulk bags of certified 26R59, and now last year wasn't a good wheat year, but I didn't notice any difference in the certified wheat and the seed I'd been saving for a while. And then the year before that, we tried another variety of certified seed, one I hadn't grown before, but was supposedly one of the top dogs in the newer varieties that was out there. And actually it wound up yielding worse than the seed I'd been saving for a while. So I was thinking, you know, there's really not anything to the saving your seed and seeing yield declines. But after the year that we've had this year, I mean, we should have better wheat than what we're yielding. So I'm wondering if that's actually a thing, and what's the actual reasoning behind it, you know, saving your seed year after year and then seeing yield decline. So anybody that's got any prior experience in this, if you can help me out, if you can leave a comment down below kind of explaining what's going on, what I'm seeing, how I might counteract it, or if it's too long to type out, if you can find some way to get your contact info to me, I'd appreciate a little help on this matter. 15 plus years or so, it seemed like I could just throw some seed out on top of the ground and grow an 85 bushel crop with no problems at all. But the last 3 years, we just struggled to make the wheat crop that we're used to making. And we're doing everything the same. We're split applying our nitrogen. We're putting out plenty of fertility. We're spraying with fungicide. We're putting out plenty of seed per acre. I think this was planted at like 1.8 million seeds per acre. Planted somewhere there around the third week of October or last week of October. Plenty early to make good yields, get it to tiller out and everything. But then I say all that, right here in this spot it's yielding 100 bushels an acre. So maybe it was just up there on the hill. Maybe just the rate controller wasn't doing a good job on the nitrogen, and all the rest of this is going to be a lot better. But still, if you do know anything about saving your seed and seeing yield declines after so many years, if you can, if you got any information on that, if you can share it with me, I sure would appreciate it. All right, guys, I gotta get some off my chest. I got a beef. I got a big frustration that drives me literally insane. Right here, this iPhone right here, before I filmed the last clip, it was connected by Bluetooth to my radio up here. I listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff on my phone, and now for whatever reason I hit play again, and sound's coming out through my speaker. And now it's saying connection unsuccessful. I can't connect to my combine radio. Here's the thing. I can have this thing down there at the shop on the wash pad or whatever with it idling, and I'll be on the phone walking past the combine, and all of a sudden I'll lose whoever I'm talking to. Why? Because my phone will then connect to the Bluetooth, even though I'm walking around out there. No random reason or whatever. But yet here I am sitting in the combine and the daggum things won't connect. And it's just not this radio. It does it on my tractors, does it on my Dodge pickups or whatever. Can't hardly get it to connect Bluetooth when I'm wanting to connect it to Bluetooth, but just randomly walk past the vehicle as the radio's on, bam, connects to Bluetooth. God, it's so irritating. I don't know why in this day and age of technology this stuff is not, why is it just not seamless and easy and whatever? Please tell me I'm not the only one that has this issue. Well, Carter and I just got done right there across the creek, and Andy called me. He hauled a load in, and anyway, the elevator is stopped up. He's never had it plug up on him, so I'm gonna cut out a spot here to park everything, and then we'll go ahead and shut down. It's starting to get a little late. Wheat's starting to get a little encased, and our loss is going to go up, so we're going to cut out a spot for everything here and then head on in and see if we can get that grain bin unplugged. I hope it's not too bad, but he probably just got the flow just a little too high right there on the get-go. There was a lot of water in the loop pipe, probably still quite a bit of moisture, and you put dry grain in there and it'll lock that loop pipe up in a heartbeat. Plus, the pipe isn't slicked up or anything, probably got some rust on the inside, creating a lot of drag. So hopefully we'll go in there and we won't have a big old mess. Well, I guess Kelly decided our front yard's a parking lot. All right, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, she definitely stopped up.
North and south tower motors, they were definitely tripped. I just reset them and tried to bump it, and it's trying to pull it. So there's.
That's the thing, we gotta find out exactly what it was. You say here in the bin, there's no grain showing in the where it goes in the pipe, where it goes in there.
No.
All right, so that means it's not recirculating all the way through the loop pipe, which would be my biggest fear. That'd be real hard to get unchoked. Yeah. You say it was going into bin number 2 though?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was, and then I just tapped up there, and the top pipe all the way to bin 2 is stopped up.
Yeah, well, probably all that moisture in there. I mean, they need to go in there, just add an absolute trickle until we get all the moisture out of the pipe. Let me check the overloads over here. Make sure they're both pulling. Yeah. All right. Loop tower. That one's tripped. All right. South loop was tripped. And then we also got. And then also in here, these are the overloads. Need to make sure that they're reset. All right. Let me show you how my trick to unplugging this. It's a lot easier when we don't have a big pile of grain there and we can actually see the chain down there. But what I do is, I just bump it on and off. I don't let it pull until it trips something. I just bump it on and off because it surges an amp load through there and it will trip something. But just bump it, and then eventually the electronics is gonna get hot and it'll trip until it has to cool down. But a lot of times we can get it going this way if it's not too terribly bad. But then if it's bad enough, we got to open up the bottom of the pipe, and then we got a lot of scooping to do.
Yeah.
Let's try this first. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's pulling pretty good, so maybe we can just keep bumping this and not have to open up that pipe. Boy, it's gonna take a long time. But the pile is going down. Well, Andy, it's gotten where it's not hardly moving the chain at all anymore. Guess we gotta go to the extreme option and open up the door and do a lot of shoveling.
I mean, there is an empty gap in between 1 and 2. Like I don't think there's anything in the pipe in between 1 and 2.
The problem is all the time I'm bumping that vertical pipe over here. It's trying to pull it up, but at the same time it's falling back down and it's getting compacted in that vertical pipe. That's what the problem is. And then right here at the dump pit, I mean, it's getting filled plumb full down here at the bottom, so it's really not like the load's lessening on it. So Carter, back up. I'm gonna back the semi truck off the pit. All right, we got two options here. We can take off this bottom door curved right there, but once the grain starts flowing, it's almost impossible to shut it. So we're going to try taking off this door right here, which has got a big hole in the middle, and it'll let a lot drain out from the vertical pipe, but we should be able to close it back up. Rather than having to run everything that's in the dump pit, everything that comes out the pipe and everything, we just want to take enough grain out of there to where we can get where we can get the loop back going again. Just open it up and let it drain out, but once it drains out enough, I'm hoping we can just slam this bucket over the hole and hold it up against there while we run the loop and get it cleaned out. Carter, we're not going to try and catch it, okay? It's going to make a big mess.
We could have had a 5-gallon bucket ready.
And it's not going to make any difference.
It'll make a difference.
We'll let a little bit more drain out, and then we'll try slamming it over the opening there, and I'll cut the loop on and see if it runs.
Are we gonna scoop all that up?
Yeah, once we get the loop freed up, we will. All right, I'm gonna go try it. We're making some progress now. Almost. Next time it's gonna go.
Oh, really?
All right, next time it's gonna go.
Oh, really now? Oh, is the next time
All right, for real, the next time it's gonna go.
Yeah, really. Or is the next time?
Well, shift the breaker. All right, gonna go this time.
Yeah.
All right, we got her cleared out. We got mess, but it could be a bigger pile. All right, now we got it cleared. All that grain's got to go back in the dump pit. Alright, so we finally got our mess cleaned up. Loop's running. We're gonna try and get this truck unloaded. Alright, just barely cracking. I think we can do a little bit more than that. Alright, check it, make sure it's going in bin number 2. I'll stay here and monitor the amp meter. We'll watch that amp meter real close. If it starts getting up there close to 40, I'm shutting the gate. So far, so good though. Alright, everything's still flowing good. We're going to open or flow up a little bit more. We run about 28 amps, which is good. Alright, first truck is finally in the bin. That took way more work than it should have. The problem with those loop systems is it's kind of a closed system. We got a mat we put on top of the dump pit, you know, all winter long trying to keep rain out, but water still seeps in there over the winter. You can get the pipe filled up, then we got all that moisture in there that we got to try and get out, which we did that yesterday. We dumped a bunch of water out of there, but there's still plenty of moisture in the pipe, plus the pipe is probably half rusty and stuff, definitely not slicked up. And you put dry grain in there, a little bit of moisture, and then rough pipes, a lot of friction. It takes a while to get it all out. So I think Andy definitely learned his lesson next time. The first load of the year, just put it in at a trickle until you know it's going to flow good. But what happened, he didn't open it up very much. He opened it up just a little ways, but then he walked around here to bin number 2 to make sure it was actually, you know, the grain was actually going in there. And then it, you know, he wasn't able to watch the amp meter and it started overloading it, and finally shut the motors down and led to all of that. So anyway, load and a half cut today. Don't remember how many acres, but got a load and a half cut, and hopefully tomorrow will be a little bit better day, although the rain chances start increasing tomorrow. Talking about 50% chance of rain sometime late morning, early afternoon, but Lord willing, maybe we'll be able to get at least most of the day in tomorrow. Hopefully get some more of this wheat out and in the bin where it's going to be safe and sound from the impending storm. So almost 10 o'clock, I'm plumb nasty, I'm hungry, I'm sweaty, I need a shower, and I'm headed to the house. Well, I thought we was gonna get part of the day in, but nope. I seem like every year just keeps on getting more and more frustrating.